Hickman, Nebraska. And typically I'm going to start this off with a kind of intro to um, the recording and the edit for our church here on Wednesday night. And if you're listening live or if you're coming in here today, just feel free at the end to either just write your questions in the chat or also just um, uh, text me if you have my number. Either way works. I'll be watching that here as we communicate, and I'll ask those questions at the end. And so, let's see here. Let's start with my little intro. So, well, good evening, church family. I wanted to just introduce TJ Hickman. He's the pastor here in Hickman, Nebraska. Oh my God. TJ Howell. Love it. I love it. See, I already messing up here, so no worries. No worries. We're doing great. Anyway, good evening, church. I'm here with TJ Howell, and he's our pastor in Hickman, Nebraska, and we're just so grateful for a missionary slash a local missionary down there that we can support and just really have this connection with that is unique. And so, do you mind if you just share a little bit about your overview of your ministry, kind of where you're at in that stage of growth, and just what is it like to minister down there to the Hickmans of Nebraska?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So Lighthouse Baptist Church, we started in 2000, I believe it was 24, had our kickoff service in March. Maybe it was 23. Boy, time flies already, and we're loving it. But we kicked it off in March, and God has given us a great opportunity there in the town of Hickman to reach a community that, honestly, there's only one church that was established when we went to go down there. It was a Presbyterian church. It's one of those ones that's been there quite a while, but no Baptist churches, no other churches really fairly close in the town area. And so God has allowed us to actually start there in the community. We have a building that we started in a funeral home chapel, and the Lord provided that. What an amazing story. I went and talked to the guys here up in Lincoln, and they just provided that free of charge. We took care of it, we cleaned it, we helped them on a little bit of help there, but they gave us that place to just use, and God bless that. And that's where we kicked it off, and then we were able to move into our new building across in the kind of like a little storefront building that we have, and God gave us that. And so with the church's help in Plains Baptist Church, they've helped us remodel it and get it all looking good. And so it's very exciting. We've been going for about a year now in our new building, and just what a blessing it is to already have, this last Sunday, 19 people come in, and all of them, nobody from any other churches. These are all people that have just decided to start coming here and are starting to be faithful, and it's been a very big blessing to me, and so I'm excited. The ministry itself, it was born probably about 5 or 6 years ago when I visited here in Nebraska, and so visited Plains Baptist Church, and that's where God put the seed in my heart to start a church. It wasn't planned to be out here, but then God brought me full circle in about a year's time, a full circle back to Hickman, and then we started the church there with my sending church, which is Round Prairie Baptist Church in Lockridge, Iowa, and then Plains Baptist Church. We call them our supporting church here because they're actively supporting us and helping us as well here. And so what a blessing both churches have been. So it's kind of a rare occasion to have two helping, supporting churches, but as far as actively supporting. And so just thankful for you all's support as well. So
hey, praise the Lord. And do you mind if you paint like a visual picture, or just give us a picture of who the types of people that you're serving down there?
Yeah.
I know you've been to Plattsmouth. What does that differ look like for us here compared to Plattsmouth? Is it a lot the same, or what does that look like for you?
Right. Well, Hickman is an interesting community. There is an old side to it. So there is. It wasn't very big, probably about 1,000 or 1,500 at one point, and then it just took off. Well, when they put the Norris School District down there, it's a very big school complex down there, and it is very well known as far as it's beautiful. Number one, the landscaping, everything, they did such a beautiful job setting it up. It's huge. So all of a sudden, all these people in Lincoln that wanted to have the jobs in Lincoln, but yet also wanted their kids not to have to be in the Lincoln public schools, wanted something a little bit better for their kids, they started taking them down to Norris, and so they moved to Hickman so they would be in that Norris school district. So what we're seeing is a lot of affluent families. In fact, most of the population in Hickman is made up of families with kids. You don't see that a lot. You see a lot of older communities where it's a lot of older folks, and retirement communities sometimes. And there's not a lot of the older community there. It's a lot of young families with kids. And so the opportunity is great to work with kids, to work with ministries through that. And so we have some things planned already. We did some things already in the past with the kids there in the park, trying to draw attention and just bring them in. But just being a part of the community and realizing the affluence there, it's going to take somebody that's going to show up and be there for a while before they're ready to just trust you and then start coming. And so that's what we're doing. We're just trying to be there a while and make a difference. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And in that, have you come across any challenges in reaching these people? Maybe you have like a story that really stands out to you, a victory even, or what does that look like?
So we have had some challenges, getting going. The one challenge I will say at the very beginning, we had a few people show up, and we were starting in the funeral home chapel, and it kind of like, you're at a funeral home, It was one of those, I'm not sure I want to go to a church that's in a funeral home. And so it was different, but we got through that part of it, and we had a couple people come and go through there, and that's okay. My goal is to preach and love and help and lead the people that show up and are staying there. And so I'm there for anybody, but yeah, so that was a little bit of a hiccup or a little bit of a challenge, but it's also been a bit of a challenge with housing for our family. That's one of the goals. We've been trying to move down there. I really think if we're going to make an impact to that community, I'm going to need to be in the community and a part of it. And so I try to make as much as I can be there, try to get down there. We're on the south side of Lincoln is where we live right now, in a rental house right now. Lord's provided this. It's been good. It's sufficient, and we're trying to get down there. And so our goal is to get into the community so that way you can affect the change. People can see you more. You're just part of the community. And so that's one of the goals and one of the challenges we've had. But Hickman, like I said, with it being everybody trying to go that direction, housing prices are actually almost more there than they are in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's crazy. So we're dealing with some challenges there, but Lord provides, and He'll open up the place when it's time. And so, but yeah, as of right now, it's been good. But those are about the challenges we've been dealing with mostly.
How far of a commute is that for you guys right now?
Right now, because we live right on the south side, we can actually be there in 15 minutes or less. I mean, depending on if I'm driving or my wife.
Right. Yeah.
She's faster.
But it's really being implanted in that community, seeing them every day, seeing them walk by, kids being involved in that. Yeah, I can see that. That's going to make an impact. And when it comes to that aspect of impact, when it comes to your family life, what does that look like when it comes to those dynamics and working in a ministry, working full time, doing a job within the church as well, and you're really just pouring your life into the people there in Hickman? How are you balancing that with pouring your time and life into your family?
Honestly, it's sometimes I look back and it's kind of a blur. Days go by so fast because you don't stop. And I get my workplace, and most people, if they know, I work at Walmart and I'm an HR manager. And God has just opened that position up. It is not only a position that helps people with Walmart, but I've been allowed to, my manager allows me to help and counsel people. And so they come in my office. Sometimes we'll sit there and I'll have people come in and start talking about one thing, and next thing you know, we're praying, and I'm trying to get them through stuff. I've actually had 4 or 5 boys that are working there with me. I've gotten Bibles too, and they're going through the Bible with me. We're going through verses and stuff, and it's just neat to see how God opened the door. And so that aspect, it just intertwined into the ministry, and so we've seen that open up. The challenge, I will say, has been a little bit is trying to make sure that I can be everywhere where I need to be. My job, they let me have Sundays and the Wednesdays, and I've got that all clear. And it's been a little bit of a challenge if I'm trying to get away for something. So if like there's a special meetings or stuff, I try to do what I can. But the focus really is the church and the church people. I try to make sure that I'm there for them. And Lord really has worked it out every time. And so I'm so thankful for that. My kids jumping in when we pulled out of Iowa, leaving all their friends and leaving the church we'd been at for 13 years, and that was tough. And I was a little concerned, but we stayed together, and I've seen my family grow. I've seen them. We've come closer together than we've ever been. The challenges that have come our way, I've seen us all group together and pull together on them. And so I'm so thankful God has given me the family I have. I can't say enough about my wife. She is absolutely she's there behind me. She is my helpmeet, and I'm just thankful that I have somebody that no matter what I ask of her, what I say, she's right there. She's agreeing on it, and so. But she's also a good voice of reason, and so I'm thankful for that. She kind of helps me with keep my level head, and so just an amazing family, and so I'm thankful for them.
Yeah.
God has prepared us for this.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to throw this out there, and one question I typically ask missionaries is, what's one misconception? What's one area of people often just don't see clearly about the ministry and the people that you're trying to reach? And what would you like to clarify for our church in that regard?
Right. So I think there's two things really that the town we're going to. Now, the town we're going to is a population of 3,161 right now. As far as 2023, it's probably a little more than that now. But the misconception there is it's only a town of 3,000. However, within 15 minutes, we have over 100,000 people right down there on the south side of Lincoln. I mean, we have so many people so close, and so the outreach and the difference that we can make, it's a huge. It actually blows my mind how many people are that close. And so one of the things that we try to understand or try to reach out is how we can reach all of these people, whether it be mailers or even the digital aspect or the videos or whatever we try to do through our social media, is to try to impact all the areas and try to pull where we can and be there for everybody. I still haven't. I mean, I don't know. Starting at one door, knocking on doors, and talking to everybody, I still haven't. Within a year and a half, you're not going to reach all 100,000 that are even available. And so there's still people out there, whole apartment complexes that I haven't even made it to. And so I'm looking forward to what God has in store for that. The other thing is the second thing I would say is the affluence of it. When people hear about a little town of 3,000, they think, well, it's kind of a small little backwards town. It's not. It's like cutting edge. A lot of things, buildings and things are going in there all the time, brand new. It's got, for a town of 3,000, it has more options and opportunities than some of the smaller towns I've ever seen because of all the affluence and all the buildings and people moving down there, the condos that are being built right now behind our church. And right now we were the first thing you saw when you came into town, Lighthouse Baptist Church on the corner, and now they've got condos that are coming in up that rise now, and so it's just amazing the growth that's happening right there. And so, but that's a misconception, is just not realizing now this town is, even though small, it's got such a big pool and such a great opportunity, and it's the second fastest growing town in Nebraska right now. So,
wow, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That definitely opens my eyes, and I really appreciate you saying and communicating all those the potential for impact within the area that you're in, and just your heart behind the ministry that you're serving. And as we go to prayer for you tonight, what would be some of those things you're looking forward to the most this year that we can lift up to the Lord in prayer?
I would say, wisdom. 3 months in, one of the first members that we had start with us had back surgery, and the back surgery went bad, and she went into a hospital, and within a week and a half she passed away, and I've already had my first funeral. I would just ask for wisdom, because dealing with these things, some of these things, these are not what you plan on when you start church. You think of all the getting going, oh, this is going to be great, but I will tell you, through that, God has opened the door. She actually went to the care center she went to. She had been and worked there her entire life, and so she retired from there. So when we went there to visit her, she told the minister there that runs the place, she goes, you need to get him in here to preach on every Saturday or so. And so we started a ministry there, and so now we have 2 nursing home or retirement center ministries that we do, and we've already seen 3 or 4 people saved at South Lake where she asked us to come. We've seen 3 or 4 people saved there because of her. And so, it's I guess the prayer request would be that the wisdom would be, as I deal with each moment and each time, that God would give me the wisdom of what to do. I know I have a lot of good pastors out there that I've reached out to, and they're there to help me, and I'm thankful. But I definitely I need the wisdom, and I need God's help with this. I also would ask that you pray about the housing down there, that God would just open that up. We'd love to find a place, even if it's on the edge of town, or even like farmhouse or something, anything down there that we could get in the community. I really feel like that's going to be a big next step. And so, and then the growth of the people, as we continue to just build the foundation, just the growth of them, and help as they continue to just soak up the word. I just pray for them as they grow.
Okay, most definitely. We appreciate you here tonight. We'll lift you up in prayer.
Thank you.
When it comes to, I guess, connecting, and this is kind of the end of the actual recording period, when it comes to connecting with people, staying in that community, being rejuvenized, right, as you're poured into all these people, what does that look like? How are you developing and keeping, I guess I don't know what word to fill in there, like quickened by the Spirit, and also encouraged by other fellow believers?
Yeah, absolutely. I will tell you, there's as far as connection with my churches, I call and talk to my sending pastor once a week at least, and talk to him all the time. Something comes up, we just talk, and we have a good time as far as discussing, options and opportunities and things. And then with Pastor Smith, I'm meeting with him, probably once every other week, and we go over things. And he's more hands-on with some of the budgets and stuff, because we're our financials and stuff, we're going through planes right now because of using them. We're kind of under their umbrella with insurance and stuff, and it has been very blessed to have that. And so until we get things started, we're dealing with some of that. And so that connection there has been pretty good. The other thing I would say is just dealing with how to deal with the stress and all of that as you deal with everything. I'll say one of the biggest shots in my arm that just happened is my father-in-law and mother-in-law just moved out here with us. And if you don't know who that is, my father-in-law, Pastor Scott Petty, or evangelist, sorry, Scott Petty, he's a Pulpitfield evangelist back home, and they felt the Lord moving them out here to help us with the church. The man can preach. He's probably my favorite preacher in the world, and but not just that, he is there to help, and he's taken over song leading for me. He actually gave us a week where we could leave, so he just took the church for a Sunday. My wife and I were able to go down to Branson for just 5 days. We stayed at Brother Harvey Goodman's Anchor Ministry down there. Praise the Lord for that. What a blessing. But God has given us those moments of time where we could get away and just have an opportunity. That was our 20th anniversary, by the way. We just had that. And so what a blessing it was.
That's great.
Yeah. So with him coming there, that's probably the biggest encouragement lately that I've had, is having him there with me. He's such an encourager and a right hand. And so I can't say that enough. And so I'm just thankful. I'm very blessed right now with that. And so I feel more than ever right now, the church, we've had some struggles. We've had some different, ups and downs, but I keep seeing God just open door and open door and open doors. And just 2 weeks ago, one of our members has been inviting another person at work, and they showed up there. And then they came back, and this last Sunday they came back again. And I'm just encouraged to see these people that maybe got saved when they were on a bus somewhere. And I don't know, I haven't got his full story yet, but he was on a bus route somewhere, and so I'm going to find out where. But God used that and brought him back, and now him and his wife, they're in church again, and it's such a blessing. And so I'm very thankful for that.
That's awesome. That is so great. Well, I don't see anybody coming on, so that's all good. We'll probably end it right here, the recording portion.